50 years ago.
I was galvanized by his speeches. That's what made me think so very, very highly of Martin Luther King. I was in awe. I had a very difficult time even taking photographs. Then looking around and seeing the inspiration and the faith that people had and their hands in prayer. And I walked around and photographed this one black lady, and she had her hands up under her chin, and that look in her eyes and the face and that smile, it was just wonderful. It was very exciting. But Dr. King's speech, I have a dream, because that's what it's all about. I have a dream. The next time I photographed Martin Luther King, I was working for the Washington Post at that time, staff photographer. When I walked into the church, and the closer I got to the pulpit, I actually got palpitation of the heart. I was so excited. And when he raised his arm and the light cascaded up his arm right to his fingertips, I went click, and I captured on film my personal feelings of Martin Luther King. And that's my favorite. It will always be my favorite out of all the thousands I've taken. Most certainly was it devastated to me that 6 weeks later he was going to be shot down, assassinated at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. That was heart-wrenching. I was crushed, and then to be sent up to 14th and U. I photographed the first person looting a store right there at the corner of 14th and U. She didn't break the windows, had a bandana on her head, reached in to grab something. I don't know what it was. I had to fight the urge not to take the photograph. That caused tremendous pain. Here's a black female, and you just instantly, microseconds, you know why she's doing it. Her grandparents, her great-grandparents, what they've been through, and this is just all automatic. Like I say, in microseconds, do you take the photograph or don't you? But you're a news photographer, and most particularly since you're a black news photographer, oh yeah, you have to force yourself. Not only for that particular time, but for the next 4 or 5 days, had to take photographs. I had to force myself to take it. I had to force myself to take it. Force myself to take it. These images and thoughts running through your mind, you understand why they're doing it, yet you know it's wrong. The next day is pandemonium because you got fire engines wailing, you got tear gas being right not too far from 15th Street. You had the cavalrymen there, photographed them at 14 with bayonets and still trying to overcome King's assassination. And the more you hear about it and who did it and so forth, the more angry you get. It's not frustration anymore, it's after his death. That was a shockwave. That was a shockwave. That's like setting off the atomic bomb. That was a terrible thing and a terrible loss. One of the great men of the 20th century. And as time passes by, some of these pictures I've seen that I have forgotten long ago that I've taken, I still have every now and then the images pop up in my mind, but to just see them again, and then you feel fortunate you got some important photographs. Not just great people, but the average person, the poor person. That's what excites me more. That's what excites me more than anything. Sad, but still hopeful. I'll always be hopeful, and I'll always keep the faith regardless. Something I can't help. We've come a long way, mighty long way, and we still have a ways to go. But with Dr. Martin Luther King, I have a dream. Let's hope that his dream will eventually come to fruition. A lot of it has, and hope it continues on that upward path.